Prophet Abraham, although he was alone, risked his life and broke the idols. Our Prophet, on the other hand, broke the idols after the conquest. What's the difference? Yes, what our Prophet did was something he did after he became a prophet. Allah, the Almighty, made it seem good to Abraham. But he did not assign such a duty to our Prophet. Allah had destined conquest for him. He would break the idols after the conquest. That would be a much greater victory. Abraham was not granted conquests. The Prophet, however, was. That's why it was postponed. Abraham was not destined to achieve as much success as our Prophet. Therefore, Allah Almighty allowed him to break the idols when he was a child. But such a thing was not shown, taught, or commanded to our Prophet, because if he had done it, we would have been obliged to do it as well. Allah knows that after our Prophet, Muslims would weaken as they have today. After the 1900s, the Ummah would disperse, and Muslims in every land would face hardship. Allah knows this, and He knows they will rise up again. Allah knows this. When we rise again, we will naturally take the Prophet as our example, just as we do now. His method and strategy of action. We would do the same as he did. If our Prophet had broken the idols, we too would have had to break them. Could we bear that? Even if 3 or 5 of us were brave enough, could the masses bear it? That is why Allah showed this Ummah a method that would remain valid until the Day of Judgment. A method that can be practically applied in every land and every era. Abraham's method is not suitable for everyone, everywhere. It was suitable for Abraham. The Prophet's method, however, suits all times, places, and people. Abraham's act was not an organized movement. He was still a child then. He was not yet a prophet. So it wasn't really part of any movement. But what our Prophet did was part of a movement. The behavior of a movement and that of an individual youth are not the same. A movement must act in a planned manner. It must consider the condition of the people within it. Abraham, on the other hand, was alone. Being alone, he didn't have to think of such things. But a movement must think of them. Therefore, there may be nuanced differences between Abraham's actions and those of our Prophet. But in the end, did our Prophet not struggle against idolatry? Did he not speak against the beliefs and understandings of the idolaters? Did he not reject them? Did he not say, "You are on the wrong path"? He did. The only thing he did not do was break their idols. Otherwise, he said everything necessary. The method shown to our Prophet is one suitable for all times, all places, and all societies. First comes the phase of secret activity. Then comes the phase of public activity. Step by step, then comes migration. These stages apply to all Muslims in all times. Movements can develop accordingly. If the Prophet had acted immediately like Abraham did, it would not have fit all people, all lands, and all eras. There are several important points here. First, our Prophet was sent to all humanity. Abraham was not. Therefore, the Prophet's method had to be universal, suitable for all times, places, and people, because he was sent to all humanity. and until the day of judgment. Abraham's mission was not like that. Moreover, when Abraham did that act, he was not yet a prophet. But our prophet was. After becoming a prophet, he began a movement. Abraham was alone. Our prophet started a movement. So it's only natural that there should be a strategic difference between the behavior of an individual and that of a movement. Also, Allah Almighty tells us such stories so that Muslims may have courage as well. That is, if you don't bear great responsibility. Let's say a Muslim works in a factory somewhere. He doesn't need to calculate everything in great detail. If there's a situation, he should show his stance. Not everything must be thought out as broadly, as the leaders of a movement do. Not every individual must think as deeply. Sometimes one may act individually. If he needs to take a stand, he can take a stand. Allah Almighty tells these stories as examples for such cases. But in other prophets, we don't see such idol-breaking incidents. It is an exceptional event. And even then, Abraham was not yet a prophet when he did it.